Welcome back to the kitchen table. Today on the kitchen table, the new offering from DJI, the Mavic Pro. Before we go any further, I must convey my thanks to ace aerial pilot Ben Kenobi, who's loaned us his Mavic Pro, which he bought at the recent UK drone show. Thanks again, Ben, for your help. Right, Mavic time. I spent an afternoon with the new DJI offering, and I have to say I was quite surprised that on paper I was completely disinterested in the UAV, but when flying it, how much I enjoyed it. Specs are as follows. Folded down, the Mavic is 83mm by 83mm by 198mm, which means it's about the size of a Phantom controller. It really is teeny tiny small. Streaming the Mavic, it will display 1080 at short range and 720 at long range, and using new flight autonomy, the Mavic will sense objects up to 15 meters away and allow a bypass or brake to avoid bumps. So it's really rather safe. The supplied battery will allow flying for 27 minutes, which is actually very accurate, with our 15-minute flight still showing over 60% battery life remaining. During our flight, we saw various warnings, such as high winds, which didn't affect the performance of the aircraft at all, but it was just a warning to say that the UAV was going to be a little bit less responsive. In sports mode, the little drone really can move. 40 miles an hour is the stated speed, which is quite believable. Sports really does turn it into a little racing beast. Slightly frighteningly, the Mavic falls almost silent when going from full speed to stopping whilst in the air. It almost seems it's like going to fall out of the air, but it doesn't. It did take some getting used to from me, but thankfully it's operationally completely correct. One new addition to the Mavic is its controller. It's tiny. You still need a screen to view the downstream and the functions, but the controller is barely bigger than an iPhone, and it really works. With independent video and photo capture buttons and the usual camera gimbal movement on the dials placed under the controller makes handling very easy for anybody who's familiar with the DJI system, despite the fact it is really teeny tiny.
So active track, so then I think you just, so here I've selected me, active track, go. So let's just, it's just only tracking me at the moment. Yeah. So you can see it's just turning and following me. If you actually look at the video, it's very smooth, it tracks me very smoothly, it's pretty good.
The usual DJI fare of follow me and orbit are present, as well as new unique leg movements, turning this small UAV into an even smaller one when you transport it. So, all these positives, are there any negatives? Well, there's just one, but sadly it's a very big one, and that's the camera. A CMOS sensor delivers 12.3 megapixel images with a field of view of just over 78 degrees. The ISO range of 100 to 200 in video and 100 to 1600 in stills, with a shutter speed of 8 seconds to 1/8000th of a second. In still mode you can capture single shots, burst modes of 3, 5 and 7 frames, as well as auto bracketing and interval time-lapse. In video mode, 4K can be captured in 4096 by 2160 at 24 frames a second, or a reduced 4K of 3840 by 2160 4K at 24, 25 and 30 frames a second. However, drop down to 2.7K of 2704 by 1520 and you can capture 24, 25 and 30 frames a second. However, dropping down to 1080, you can get 24, 25, 30, 48, 50, 60 and 96 frames a second. And one more drop to 720 swaps the 96 frames a second to 120 for super slow-mo. The video bitrate is 60 megabits per second, but that's just not good. Comparing the Mavic to older technology of the Phantom 3 Pro, it just doesn't cut the mustard. It's just not right. You expect newer technology to get better, not take a step back. But there's obviously a reason for this, which DJI know, and we'll all just have to stand by and scratch our heads and wonder, why is it not better? So, is it worth it? The current RRP of the Mavic is £10.99 in UK pounds as of December 2016. Batteries are £85 a go. If you don't have a Phantom 3 Pro or a Phantom 4 and you're flying an older UAV, this may well be one to go for if travelling space is a premium for you. There are better drones out for around the same price, with the unique Typhoon H at just £200 more, but it does a lot more and is also a lot bigger. It could have been a winner. With an improved camera, it could have ruled the world. A must-have small form factor UAV, but it's just not quite there. It also seems odd that with the Phantom 4 Pro being likely to be such a huge step forward with its new camera system, it begs the question, why is the Mavic not there? My advice would be about the Mavic to find somebody with one. Try it before you buy it. It is great, but could be so much better. Many thanks again to Benjamin Kenobi for his excellent piloting skills and the use of his Mavic Pro. That's it for the kitchen table. Come back again soon for another new video. We'll see you soon on the kitchen table.